Buju, wago shindagu migizi indodem, gazaga squaji mekag, indunjaba. When natives fight natives, white supremacy wins. I have seen it happen so many times. I've seen it happen even in our indigenous language revitalization efforts. People from one community fighting people from another community, people from one dialect fighting people from another dialect, all of which can derail an emerging language revitalization effort. I've seen it happen in our social activism efforts. I've seen it happen in tribal politics. So often when we get after one another, what ends up happening is that our goodwill and our good efforts get sidelined. And in the end, this is exactly the nature of colonization. I see this happen in, the DEI work that I do as well. Some people get caught up in the oppression Olympics, competing victimization. My group suffered more than your group. And instead of holding one another up, listening to and validating one another's stories and allying ourselves to one another's legitimate causes, we fight for control of the microphone and we walk away from efforts that are not immediately focused on our most immediate group. And all of that props up and supports white supremacy. There's a great book by Paulo Freire called Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and in there he talks about 4 pillars that hold up oppression. And of those 4 pillars, only one is an external actor keeping somebody down. The others all happen inside of oppressed communities. So that's internalized oppression, that's being mean to ourselves, self-hatred, suicide, substance abuse. All of these things can be manifestations of that. It's lateral oppression within our own group. So that's natives being mean to natives and, black people being mean to black people and things like that. And it's also intra-oppressed group oppression. So that's homophobia in a native community. It's black and indigenous people, disagreeing and fighting over something. And so ultimately, we need to understand how these things have worked. For the most part, colonization has succeeded, even with countries like England, which have a tiny population relative to the populations of their vast empire, which at one point covered 25% of planet Earth. And they did it by taking people from Ireland and giving them jobs as soldiers in the British Army and sending them out to go subjugate other Irishmen. It happened in the American experiment, taking Native Americans from one vanquished tribe and giving them jobs as scouts in the army to go fight members of the next tribe. And it happened by taking black freedmen and giving them jobs in the 10th Cavalry and sending them out to go fight Indians. This is how the systems of oppression have been maintained. So we need to have this awareness as we interact with one another so we can show up with more love of ourselves, love of one another, love of people in other groups, so we can show up with more support, so we can be more genuinely engaged with one another, mobilize resources, and work together. And this isn't about or against white people or something like that. In fact, all of us are dehumanized by any of the isms. And instead of fighting over who gets to be the oppressor and who has to be the oppressed, we should work together and fight oppression. Miigwech. Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Troyer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, resources for the Ojibwe language, teachers, and more. Miigwech.